Rodgers, the Super Bowl champion and MVP. He's going up against the new flavor, Cam Newton, the Heisman Trophy winner and the new hope for the Carolina Panthers. And boy, have we got a good one for you here. Week 2 in the NFL. The Carolina Panthers, the Green Bay Packers, live for you right here on Fox. And welcome to the booth, everybody. Ron Pitts along with the coach, Jimmy Moore. And Jimmy, we talk about the Green Bay Packers. Yes, they are the world champions. And let me tell you, when they walk into the meeting room, you know it. Yesterday, they came into the meeting room to talk to us, and they just exude that confidence. And I don't think anybody exemplifies that more than quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, no. Calm, confident, composed. This guy does everything you want a quarterback to do at the highest of level. Not only does he have great command of what they're doing offensively, but he understands what defenses are trying to do to attack him, and that helps him be a great decision maker. I'll say this, Ronnie. I don't think there's a performer in all sports, that's playing at a higher level than Aaron Rodgers is playing at quarterback for the Green Bay Packers right now.
The coach said it.
have indisputable visual evidence. Right foot down twice. I believe that's 2 feet in, right? It just wasn't 2 opposite feet. It was the same foot twice.
And I think the question was also, did he have control of the ball when that second one came down? The replay booth felt he did. They counted as a touchdown. Panthers strike early. Ron Pitts, Jim Moore back here in Carolina. Opening drive, almost a perfect drive. Cam Newton, 6 of 7, 90 yards, a touchdown, and 1 rush in there. They reviewed the play, and it stood. Murray kicking to the man that ran one back 108 yards last week. That's Cobb, and he fumbles. Recovered by Carolina. Sean Considine comes up with the recovery, but he was blasted as he hit the wedge area.
Well, Randall Cobb, he hit it up in there. I'll give him that, but ball security, and for a young guy, it's so important that you protect that football when you get into trash. He ran into the back of his own guy.
Jimmy, as a head coach, a former head coach, this is the perfect storm for how to lose a game if you're Green Bay.
It is. You're giving a young, hungry team momentum at home.
Plenty of time for Newton across the middle of the field. That's Williams. Williams will have a few. Walden.
And here's a great shot of the fumble run. He's hitting it up in there hard, Randall Cobb, as he's looking for an opening. But unfortunately, he runs into the back of Ryan Taylor, and the ball squirts out. I guarantee you that he's on the sidelines now with the coach saying, young man, when you get into trash, I know you took one back 108 last week, but when you get into the trash, you've got to protect that football.
Mike McCarthy said, my 2 concerns of this game are the first big road game of the season and having 10 rookies on this staff, and 1 rookie just gave up the ball. Second and 7 throw. It's a little high. Intended for Shockey. And a late penalty in the backfield that could be a roughing the passer.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 55. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
That's going against Desmond Bishop.
Well, they brought pressure again here. Bishop, good swim move. Ooh. I don't, you know, Dom Capers talked about it last night. He says, you know what I tell my guys? He said, hey, stay on your feet and hit him between the numbers. That's what he did.
He hit him between the numbers. I think, Jimmy, they popped him for the driving the quarterback into the ground.
If anything, Ronnie, that had to be it. The driving the quarterback into the ground, that is not something they're going to allow in the league. Doesn't matter right now. They're a new set of downs.
The fake give, throwing to the corner, and it's incomplete, just a little high, intended for Greg Olsen. Let's go back and look at the touchdown one more time.
We talked to Mike Pereira in the studio, and he explained it here as I was wrong. It's not right foot. You've got to get both feet down. So he's got right foot, which didn't count, but then the left one, you can't tell there with indisputable visual evidence whether or not his left heel was on the line. Therefore, the play is upheld, and it's a touchdown.
Mike Pereira, former NFL head of officiating, working now with us at Fox and giving us a little extra help on some of these tight calls. 2nd and 10. This is all Newton using that size. He'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down. And when I say the size, I mean it. 6'5", 244.
Ronnie, I like the call, quarterback draw. You know what I like better than the call? I like Cam Newton's presence here to get down and not try to get extra yards. Watch him right here. When he feels like there's he gets down, he avoids the hit. We also saw what happened to Troy Aikman the other night when he had the critical fumble. I think Cam Newton is a fast learner. I like this kid, boy. I'll tell you what.
3rd and 4. Check down throw. Stewart loses his lid. and the play automatically stops the moment his helmet comes off as a ball carrier, hit hard by Bishop, and short of the first down. Decision time. One of the first big ones of the year for head coach Ron Rivera.
The ball was blown dead when the runner's helmet came off. 4th down.
Ron's already decided he's gonna put points on the board, and I like that decision, Ronnie. And I'm gonna tell you what, you're playing a team in Green Bay, you know, he's gonna put some points up. You need to get points on the board. Now there might be some that argue, say, hey, 3's not enough. You can't take a 3 if you're gonna give them a 7, but they don't have a 7 yet. So if you can get a 10-point lead on the Super Bowl champ at home in your home opener, that's a big deal. I like this call by Ron Rivera.
Murray, 20 yards out. Chip shot, no flags. So the Panthers jumping all over the Super Bowl champions. 10-zip here in the first. Ron Pitts, Jim Mora. The way you beat a good team, especially a good offense, keep their quarterback off the field. Thus far, Carolina's been able to do that. Well,
we're 8.5 minutes into this game, and we haven't seen Aaron Rodgers on the field yet. So if you want to have a chance against this offense, that's the perfect formula. Keep him on the bench.
He's going to have to start warming up. His arm is cold. Last time out, Cobb fumbled the ball. This time, Murray kicks it all the way to Atlanta. Hey, look at that. That's the Super Bowl MVP finally getting a chance to play. Aaron Rodgers coming up. .6:32 to play here in the first quarter. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense finally on the field. Aaron Rodgers has been outstanding his last 12 games, including the playoffs and, of course, the Super Bowl. That completion percentage right there is almost unheard of. The early give, Grant hit hard, barely made a yard. Godfrey. You look at the Packers on offense. We've talked about Rodgers. Ryan Grant injured after the first game last year. The Packers are happy to have him back in the fold.
And a solid offensive line. Salty, know how to play well together. They're key to their success.
And of course, you've got the veteran wide receivers on the perimeter that can all make plays. Quick throw outside and another hit. That's Chris Gamble. A Bears Saints update out to Los Angeles. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Big game going on in New Orleans. Jay Cutler hooks up with a rookie, Dane Sanzenbacher, rookie free agent out of Ohio State. His first NFL touchdown put Chicago up 7-0 midway through the first quarter. Ron and Jim.
All right, thank you, Kurt. So the Saints trying to bounce back after the Packers took care of them last week. 3rd and 11. Flag. May have been movement on the Packers.
Ball start. Number 88, offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
This Packer team is a little bit off balance right now, but they're a veteran team, Ronnie. They're a mature team. They've been in these situations before. They're not going to let this start affect them. They'll play well. They'll start making some plays. They've got to protect the football. You cannot give the football back to the Carolina Panthers like they did on that kickoff. This is a big 3rd down and long now.
So Michael Finley moved.
Ready, go!
Quick throw. Jones with a nice run, but it looks as though he's short by about a yard. James Anderson on the tackle. And the Packers really don't have a choice at this end of the field.
I like the defensive call. They got him 3rd and long. The Packers have no backs in the backfield. When you go against an empty set, you either blitz or you play coverage. On 3rd and long there, the Carolina Panthers decided to blitz, make them throw it quick. They broke up and they made the tackle.
Armani Edwards is back deep to receive the Mestay punt. He's got plenty of room. No place to go. Great coverage by the Packers. Ryan Taylor hustling down with the tackle. 47 yards on the punt, 7 yards on the return. More Cam Newton coming up.
To beat the Green Bay Packers, you've got to keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline and an explosive offense off the field. Look at the time of possession here. 8:21 for Carolina, only 2:27 for Green Bay. They've got to continue that trend throughout the game if they want to maintain this lead and have a chance to beat the Super Bowl champ. Very impressive start right now for the Carolina Panthers offense, helping their defense stay on the bench.
Boy, that look by Aaron Rodgers there kind of said it all. Dropping the head, shaking the head. Quick toss, Williams. Williams blasted there at about the
You look at Cam Newton, Ronnie, excuse me on that. He made all the throws. This touch pass to Shockey on the move on the outside shoulder. Fires a strike into Smith on the slant, shows some emotion, and then the touch to Brandon LaFell for the touchdown. The guy has made every throw you can make. He can throw the touch pass to the out. He can throw the deep over the shoulder throw. He can throw the strike on the slant, and then you saw him throw the touch pass for the touchdown.
Desmond Bishop on the tackle. 2nd and 9. Inside handoff, that's Stewart. Not much there for Stewart. Met immediately by Jarius Wynn. Going back to Cam Newton, he won 2 national championships at 2 different colleges. A high school phenom, started off, went to Florida, ran into some issues off the field, and also ran into Tim Tebow on the field. He decided to drop out there, ended up at Glenn Junior College, won a national championship there, and then one more, just for the fun of it, at Auburn. So winning is a very familiar situation for Cam Newton. Out of the pocket, makes a move, and what a move it was. There's another one, and dives for the first down.
Really good pocket awareness here. Feels the pressure from his left, slides out, avoids Clay Matthews, and then great awareness to know where the first down marker is. And then just stretch enough to make that first down.
In order to make a guy like Clay Matthews miss like that, you've got to have something. And I'm sure Clay hasn't seen anything that big put his foot in the ground and turn that quick. That's what you call getting out of a bad play. The deep comeback, there it is, nobody outside for Steve Smith. And Smith inside the Packer 40-yard line. Burnett on the tackle. For a game break out to Los Angeles and Kurt Menefee.
Well, maybe Newton and Smith can start hooking up like Stafford and Johnson had. Calvin Johnson's 3rd touchdown reception of the year. He's the first wide receiver to do that. That one from Stafford puts them up 7-3 on Kansas City. Ron and Jim.
We talked about the Packers' confidence, Jim, when they walked into our meeting room last night. Well, what about Cam Newton's confidence when he walked in?
Yeah, he hadn't lost a lot of games. He's a supremely confident young man.
Man-to-man down the field, and it's caught by Olsen. Olsen inside the 5-yard line. He beat Morgan Burnett. The ball was on the money, 34 yards.
Great awareness here by Cam Newton. The motion indicated to him, and you can't see it here, that he had man coverage. He took a back, motioned him out of the backfield. The backer went with him. He looks out. He sees safety on Olsen and bump and run coverage. He says, heck, I'm going to take a shot there because not a lot of bad things can happen. It's either going to be a catch, PI, or incomplete. Good decision.
1st and goal, looking option. Newton takes it himself. He comes up short. A flag is down. Packers signaling holding by Carolina.
Holding, number 69. Offense, 10-yard penalty. 3-play first down.
That's Jordan Gross, the Pro Bowler. You won't get that very often.
Well, you hate to see a holding call down in there tight, but in this case, it might not be a bad deal. And here's Jordan Gross working on the left side here, because now Cam Newton has more room to operate. I know that's counterintuitive. Okay, most guys, hey, give me the ball on the 1, but with a guy as athletic with the movement that he has and the way he's able to survey the field and the decisions he's made so far today, I'm okay with this.
Almost lost the handle, did Stewart, and then Matthews cleans him up. And that is the end of the first quarter. It has been all about Carolina. Not much from the Packer offense. They've been on the sideline. We'll be back for the start of the second right after this. In case you had a long night, you're just waking up. It's 10-zip Carolina. And it's been the Cam Newton show. He's gone right down the field. He's 10 of 12, 151 and a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense, as you can see, they've had a total of 3 offensive plays. This is second down.
No. Wait.
Newton almost intercepted. Nick Collins just about had one, intended for Steve Smith.
That's not a throw, a pass that Collins drops very often. This guy intercepts the ball with regularity. Kind of an ill-advised throw here. He knew it was zone. They dropped 8 into coverage, and he just tried to force it in there. And that right there is a rookie mistake. And that right there is why I still contend they've got to establish a run game. If they get themselves in a lot of 3rd and longs, now I know he just converted one, but if they get themselves in a lot of 3rd and longs, they're going to have some troubles offensively as this day goes along. But they've still got to establish a run.
Plenty of time, Smith, and Smith drops it. A rare drop by Steve Smith, and that'll bring on the field goal unit for Carolina.
Not something you see a lot here, Ron, is Steve Smith dropping the football, runs a little option route, pivot, outside back in, and he simply takes his eyes up the field. He's looking to run before he puts that ball and tucks it away. You're not going to see a lot out of Steve Smith. This is a guy that's a secure pass catcher.
This is Mare from 33 yards out. He's already been good from 20. Ball's up. It's through. And the Panthers don't get 6, but they continue to add to the lead, 13-0. Jimmy, I pick up on something you said earlier. 13 points isn't enough when you're going up against the world champions.
No, when you get in the red zone, you have an opportunity to score points against this defense. It needs to be 7. 3s isn't going to cut it. They're down 13-0. That's 2 quick drives for Green Bay, and they're very capable of that.
Cobb back deep. Boy, he started to bring that one out and said no thank you. Well, next week the action on Fox continues, but it's all about baseball now as we gear up for the ALCS. Which star will be the one to lead his team through? Legends are born in October here on Fox. The ALCS begins October 8th. Don't miss it.
Triple! 319!
Play action to Starks. Quick pressure and a quick throw and a quick tackle.
Very, very impressive. It's only 4 plays in, but very, very impressive the way the Carolina defense is swarming the football and tackling well. And here's the Green Bay no huddle.
Sherrod Martin coming up fast there on Jermichael Finley.
58.
Pressure Charles Johnson. Great ad-lib, but Starks can't hold on. A flag goes down in the backfield. And it's going against Green Bay.
Holding number 75. Offense. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Good pressure here with the 4-man rush. Didn't have to bring extra guys. This time did a nice job of collapsing the pocket. Watch Hardy here off the right side. Gets right there. That's a walk back right there.
Well, Beluga tried to hold out Johnson at the last second there. He just had to grab it. No place for Rodgers. He finds a man deep, and it's a first down. Big time throw for Michael Finley. Jordan Pugh was on the coverage, and that ball's across the 50.
Just too much time there for Aaron Rodgers against some three-man rush. I'd go back to play. My question would be this. You gave him 3rd and 7. You had a chance to give him 2nd and 17.
319!
Another completion.
I can understand not giving Aaron Rodgers extra snaps, extra tries at the plate, but I think 2nd and 17 against this offense is better than 3rd and 7.
That's Finley again. You can see the tempo stepped up. The Packers talked about not actually liking their tempo against the Saints. They wanted to play faster. Starks picking his way, makes a nice ad-lib, and he'll be about 2 yards shy of the first. Anderson and Johnson in on the tackle.
And this tempo is something that Mike McCarthy talked about yesterday. He talked about wanting to get attempts at the plate, snaps.
Hey, silent Kelly, silent Kelly. Ready, go! Stand to him. Go in. Ready, go!
Boy, that was impressive. You just heard a Super Bowl MVP quarterback work a defense, work the play clock, change the play at least twice, and convert. Finley.
It's a real game of cat and mouse here now between Aaron Rodgers and that Carolina defense. They're playing what they call their Buffalo nickel. They're playing with 3 safeties with their base front.
And they bring one of the inside safeties. The backdoor throw knocked away nicely by Captain Munnerlyn, intended for Greg Jennings.
Carolina, they call it their Buffalo nickel, all right? And it's a 3 safety defense, 4 down, 2 linebackers, and we're going to see a lot of that today against this defense. Now they bring in what they call their NASCAR package, and you'll see 94, get that name before the end of the day, okay? And creative. Now they're NASCAR. Hey, let's get up the field. Let's be fast.
Sione Fouad.
Thank you.
Ready, go!
Screen. Starks, nice move. Starks inside the 15-yard line. Charles Johnson hustles down to make the tackle.
So they've essentially got 2 different nickel packages. They've got a nickel package when they think it could be run or pass, and then they've got their Buffalo nickel, which is their big package when they bring Fouad in. And he's out now. It's their NASCAR. It's speed is on the field. Speed is on the track. Rev up your engines, and let's go get the quarterback.
Neblet checks in along with Norwood. Johnson is out. 3rd and 1, quick flip. This one has a chance to score. Nice tackle there on Grant. Dan Connor subbing in for the injured John Beeson, who was on the injured reserve list. Comes down and maybe saved the touchdown, but the big thing is there's a Packer first down.
Aaron Rodgers, his mobility is understated. He has great accuracy on the move. He has great vision on the move. Some quarterbacks, when they start to move, they lock in on a receiver or they look at the rush. This guy keeps his eyes downfield and he sees everything.
Going for Finley, and a marker goes down. Sherrod Martin on the coverage.
Pass interference. Defense, number 23. The foul occurred in the end zone. Therefore, by rule, the ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
They do a lot of things offensively with formations to identify coverages, Green Bay. And what they did there is they shifted Finley out so they could see what type of adjustment the Panthers made. The adjustment the Panthers made right there by taking Sherrod Martin out there indicated man-to-man defense. He says, I'm going to take that matchup. I like my big tight end on a safety in man-to-man.
First and goal pass. Rodgers throws, and it's dropped by Kuhn.
They talk about a quarterback and his ability to extend plays. And that's what this young man does so well, is he extends plays with his feet. And when he gets out of the pocket, Ronnie, he's just as accurate as anybody I've ever seen out of the pocket. I've been around a couple pretty good out-of-the-pocket quarterbacks. Steve Young, a guy named Mike Vick that's pretty good out of the pocket.
Yeah.
This guy's as good as any I've ever seen.
319!
Kuhn pushing, driving. Yes, he's in. Touchdown.
One of the things you love about the Green Bay Packers and their offense is how multiple they are. The different things that they can bring to the table. You see them spread it out and throw the ball all over the field. You see the play action. You see Rodgers getting out of the pocket and running. And then you see power football right up the middle when they need it.
So the Packers step up the tempo. Crosby puts the extra point through. 11 plays, 80 yards, thanks to a no huddle. And the Packers close the gap. The battle between a guy that's got the ring and one that everyone thinks can someday get the ring. Rodgers, very efficient on that pass drive. 6 of 9, 68 yards, but he went right down the field and scored. That's 8 rushing touchdowns in the past 9 games for Big John Kuhn. He dropped the touchdown pass to play earlier. This is Goodson. Goodson was hit hard his last return. Didn't get much. Doesn't get much there. 9:53 here in the first half. Carolina holding on now, 13-7. So after 13 unanswered points by the Panthers, the Packers finally answer.
Well, here's a critical thing, is red zone offense. They've got to score touchdowns when they get in the red zone against this caliber of Green Bay Packer offense, because Green Bay is going to score touchdowns in the red zone.
Shockey flips it over. That's the give to Williams, D'Angelo Williams. And the Packers 34 all over it. Coming up, it's a UFC exclusive. Cain Velasquez taking on Junior Dos Santos. And you can check in early with Jay Glazer. Of course, he's got the interviews and all the pre-fight stuff. Go to facebook.com/Fox Sports for all the info.
Empty backfield here.
2nd and 9 throw. Williams trying to make a move, couldn't get out of the grasp of Charles Woodson. Time for a game break. Out to Los Angeles and Kurt Menefee.
And we send it to New Orleans, where the Saints are trying to catch up early on against the Bears. This is one way to do it. 79-yard pass, Drew Brees to Devery Henderson. He breaks a few tackles. And remember, they're playing without Colston this week. Henderson coming through and giving them a 10-7 lead. Ron and Jim.
You know, Ron, I mentioned an empty backfield last time. What that does for a young quarterback is defines the coverage. He can see more clearly what the defense is going to do post-snap.
Pressure, Matthews, and he can't get away. Sack. Bishop is there along with Matthews, and the Panthers will have to punt it away.
Well, obvious mistake up front in protection. The back, Stewart isn't able to get over there and get to Clay Matthews, and that's his responsibility. Not an easy task, but something every back in this league's got to be able to do. I would question a little bit the logic of putting a back on a guy like Clay Matthews.
Matthews, sack man extraordinaire, paying dividends. Cobb bumping into his own man, secures the fair catch at about midfield, so it will be good field position for Rodgers, but the defense stepping it up. Yeah. 8:01 here in the second quarter. Ball at about midfield for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
319!
Play action. Cobb breaks the tackle, and he's got a first down, working up to the 40-yard line of the Panthers.
Aaron Rodgers pass complete to
You look at Green Bay, and they got to roll a little bit now. That first quarter, only 3 plays for 14 yards. Last drive, 11 plays, 75 yards and a touchdown. Looks like they've got it going a little bit here. Found their rhythm.
Going down the sidelines, and that's well out of bounds, intended for Jennings. Well, this Wednesday, it's time to face the music. Simon Cowell is back with Paul Abdul and Nicole Scherzinger and L.A. Reid, and they're searching for singers with the X Factor. Don't miss television's next big event, the X Factor. The 2-night premiere begins this Wednesday at 8/7 Central, only on Fox.
A lot of X Factors in this game, huh, Ronnie?
Well, the X Factor is Aaron Rodgers having the ball at about midfield and driving right now. Good coverage down the field. No place for Rodgers. A flag is down, and he throws it away. Charles Johnson on the pressure.
Holding number 76. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
That's the 12-year vet at tackle, Chad Clifton.
Well, both tackles now with a holding call. Really good pressure out of 4 with this NASCAR look that they brought that time, those 4 speed rushers, but really good coverage down the field, making Aaron Rodgers hold the ball.
Ready, go!
Rodgers out of the pocket, and he's taken down. Eric Norwood.
Once again, Ronnie, coverage down the field. Coverage down the field. Guys playing their zones well, getting in throwing lanes, getting underneath routes. Really nice job getting underneath routes. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have room to throw the ball down the field right now. It's forcing him to either escape the pocket or step up in the pocket or stay in the pocket. And that rush right now is pretty symmetrical and squeezing him down. Looks like we're going to get a little pressure here, which would surprise me on third and real long.
Pressure around the outside. Rodgers goes down again. Great hustle by the vet, Thomas Davis. Davis has battled knee injuries the last 2 years, comes up with a big play here.
How about this guy? Watch the speed off the edge here with Thomas Davis on the snap. Runs right around the back. Good little club rip move, ripping that right arm up, and then the layout to finish. Great effort, and that's one of the things that Ron Rivera's preaching is effort, effort, effort on defense.
Estee puts one up high, and the fair catch at about the 12-yard line. Monty Edwards secures the catch. And I'll tell you a guy that we need to give a little kudos to, Sean McDermott, the defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers. The Packers know him well. McDermott, last few seasons as coordinator up in Philadelphia, he took one on the chin, 2 on the chin by the Packers. One's in the opener, and then in the playoff game, Green Bay went back up there and beat him up, so he knows this Packer offense well by now.
Well, he's got his guys playing hard today. They're playing with discipline. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're keeping the ball in front, and they're rallying to the football and tackling well. And, you know, it's fundamental. Tackle. Tackle it out with the ball.
Shoot your hips. Shoot your hands. Plenty of time for Newton. No place to throw the ball. And he takes it on his own for a first down. Well, next week on Fox, we've got great doubleheader action for you. It starts with the pregame show at 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Then it's the Giants and Eagles and Lions and Vikings. And in the game of the week, you'll either see these Packers taking on the Bears, a rematch of the NFC Championship game last year, or the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 12 yards on the last run. They'll hand it off. Stewart bangs across inside, maybe 2 or 3. He's met there by Brad Jones and A.J. Hawk.
What's so impressive about this guy, amongst other things, is his ability to get out of the pocket and then keep his eyes down the field and remain a passer. Watch him here with the pump fakes. Look at his eyes down the field. Look at the pump fakes. He's holding the guys, the linebackers would normally come up and converge on him and limit that game. He's holding him in coverage by pumping the ball. You don't see rookies in this league making plays like that. This kid is special in a lot of different ways.
Second down and 8. Almost intercepted. First knocked away nicely there by Jared Bush. And then Shields almost got the tip for the interception intended for the former Chicago Bear, Greg Olsen.
You know, the run game, they're not doing anything. Carolina is doing nothing in the run game right now.
Absolutely.
They're putting this game in the hands of a rookie quarterback against the Super Bowl champion defense, and he's answering the call right now. He's not perfect, okay? He's not perfect at all, but I've been in the league 26 years, and I can't remember being this excited about a young quarterback as I am about what I'm seeing out of this guy, especially against this defense.
Flag goes down late, 3rd and 8. Smith is short of the first down. Took a vicious hit there by Collins. But let's check the flag. And of course, Steve Smith will get up and say something after every catch, whether it's a first down or not. That's just the kind of fiery guy he is.
Illegal use of the hands, number 31, hands to the face. Defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You know, this is a very confident Green Bay defense, but I gotta believe they're a little bit rattled right now. I don't think they came in here thinking that Cam Newton would have this much success. You look at Woodson right there, and he goes to the head. That happens sometimes. He got his eyes in the backfield. He got his hands up high. You don't want that happening on 3rd down, though, Ronnie, because that keeps the drive alive.
That used to be old school good bump and run coverage.
You used to do that.
That's why I'm up here now. That was on Charles Woodson. Play action, 1st and 10. Newton out of the pocket again. And close to the 40-yard line.
You're getting a lot of 7- and 8-man protections here. Watch Shockey come across in motion to help on Matthews. And you know, he didn't have to do a whole lot there. He didn't have to do a whole lot. It didn't look like Matthews was in a hard rush there. Maybe he was in a spy rush where he was keeping his eyes on the quarterback. But they are going to do some different things to try to help out that rookie right tackle, Bell. They're going to bring tight ends over. They're going to chip him with backs on the way out to the flat. They've got to do that.
They've been flirting with that little option play, that Stewart for the easy first down.
And that's the first successful run that they've really had today, Ronnie.
But you go back to Cam Newton, and you know, one of the things he told us walking into the meeting the other day, he says, humility is a lesson I learned a long time ago. He said, I learned it when I had to come home after being the high school hero from the University of Florida. He said, all of a sudden I was just a normal guy, and I promised myself at that point I would never let people put me on a pedestal ever again. Long corner route, and that's picked off. He went one too many times to the Pro Bowler side. That's Charles Woodson with a pick.
Well, that's just a poor decision. That's a mistaken judgment. He had 8-man protection again, which means they're keeping a lot of guys in. It was a 2-man route. They really did a nice job up front of building a wall. He had time to step up into this. And, you know, he had Shockey. It looked like open underneath. He just tried to put one in to Steve Smith. And when you do that, like Ron said, too many times against a guy like Charles Woodson, 7-time Pro Bowler, Heisman Trophy winner, certain Hall of Famer, he's going to make you pay eventually. Very disappointed look on his face there.
319!
Grant's got a lane. He's downhill. And Grant with a nice run on first down. Close to the first down marker. Sherrod Martin with the tackle.
He's got this young man, Cam Newton, has a lot to learn. Remember, this is only the first half of his second game in the National Football League. And he's going to learn through his failures. And Ronnie, you mentioned...
This is the 2-minute warning.
You mentioned talking to him on Friday and the humility that he brought to that meeting and the things he learned growing up. Really impressive kid.
That's the 2-minute warning. And this just in from the you would not believe department if you're a Packer fan. Greg Jennings, Driver, Nelson, all without a catch thus far.
319!
2nd and 1 toss. And that's Grant for the easy first down. He's down at midfield. And I think that's a big pick now going against Cam Newton, because you give a guy like Aaron Rodgers in this offense a chance to go down the field before half and score.
Yeah, Cam Newton will learn that there are times when you throw the football away rather than try to throw it into cover. Talking to Rob Chudzinski, said it's more important to win the game than win the play, and that's hard for young quarterbacks to understand.
A high one intended for Jennings. Aaron knows that's on him.
You know, you get the feeling here, Ron, just watching the Green Bay offense, that they're just a little bit out of sync. And I would give credit to the Carolina defense, because they're a reflection of Ron Rivera. They're disciplined. They're fundamentally sound. They play hard. They keep things in front of them defensively in the secondary. And they're making Green Bay really earn everything they're getting.
Backdoor throw, that's complete to Jennings, but as you said, that ball kind of thrown behind. You know, you brought this up on watching film, how impressive Rodgers was at throwing the ball on spot. time hit. That time, it's Chris Gamble, and Gamble can't get up. Boy, I appreciate the way he sold out there. He had no choice.
You're an old corner, and you appreciate those corners that will come up there and tackle.
Let's take a listen. You got to appreciate the fact that John Kuhn is 6'2", 250. On the flip side, Gamble is just barely scraping 200. Somebody's got to account for the 100-pound discrepancy there. 3rd and goal. Packers spread him out.
You gotta go here, 58. Ready, go!
Looking for Nelson, and it was too quick. So Darius Butler, who just came in subbing for Charles Godfrey, they go right at him, but can't make it work.
Ronnie, you saw the other night against New Orleans on the Thursday night game, the really great utilization of the back shoulder fade. And so he's trying to hit that back shoulder there of Jordy Nelson. There's just a little miscommunication there. And probably, in all reality, that throw is a little bit short. He needs to give Jordy a little bit more time to get into his route before he drops it in there on him.
Crosby already 1 for 1. He's made one from 37. That one's good from 19. Packers continue to pile it on thanks to that man. Don't forget today, following football, Fox Sports is proud to bring you exciting coverage of the Barclays Premier League as Manchester United takes on Chelsea in a match between two of soccer's greatest teams. Coverage begins later today following the games in high definition on Fox. So check your local listings for start time in your area.
You know, Ronnie, I don't think we can say enough about the way the Panthers defense has played today. You know, after turnovers, they've come out and they've held the Packers to field goal. And as well as the Packers look to be playing on offense right now, and as rhythmed up as they appear to be, it's still a 1-touchdown game for the Panthers. So this is by no means a blowout, although you would think that it was, given some of the things that have happened offensively to the Panthers since the first quarter. But boy, this Panthers defense is playing inspired.
Seven-point game here in Carolina. Goodson, he's had a rough day returning kicks. There's more of the same. Nice hit. DJ Smith, that's a 6th-round pick out of Appalachian State.
And we talked earlier in the game, Ron, about the red zone defense that Green Bay plays and how well they are, and the ineffectiveness early in the game of the Panthers offense in the red zone and having to settle for field goals rather than touchdowns. And that's the difference right now in this game at 7 points. They had 2 chances there in the red zone to get points that were more than 3, and they didn't do so.
They keep on chucking it. Going deep. Looking for Nane, and it's not there. Step-for-step coverage by Morgan Burnett. Out to Los Angeles, a game break, and Kurt Menefee.
Well, after Jay Cutler fumble, the Saints take advantage. Drew Brees, 2nd touchdown pass of the game. This one to Robert Meacham is 23-13 right now. Saints beginning to put a grip on the Bears. Ron and Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Kurt. Ron Pitts, Jim Mora. Started out all Panthers. Second half here, it's been all about the Packers. Charles Woodson has 2 interceptions and a big fumble recovery. Batted away. That one up for grabs, and Bush was going for his pick.
You know, you're seeing a lot of empty sets right now, Ron, where they motion the back out of the backfield, leave Cam Newton all alone in the backfield in the shotgun. And that's obviously a clear indication that it is a pass. And it's also a clear indication that in most cases it's going to be a 3-step drop, which means it's going to be a quick, low trajectory throw. And you just saw the batted ball there. I'm going to say it again, run the football, please.
3rd and 10 through the seam. That's picked off. Burnett again, his name being called a lot today, intended for Nane.
I'm going to put, you know, I like their offensive coordinator, Chizinski. Okay, I think he's a fine football coach. But I'm going to put this one on him. All right, he's putting this young man in some very tough situations. He overthrows it, sure, that's not a good pass. But 3 straight passes when you're down 7 in a game like this against an explosive offense like Green Bay has. And I know we're not, if you're Carolina, you're saying we're not able to run the football, but you still got to try.
Right.
You still got to try. You've got to try to run the football.
Burnett makes another play. Knocked the ball out of the hands of Steve Smith. Now in the area for the overthrow for his first interception. Full house. Grant. And Grant trying the right side for a few. Sherrod Martin coming in with the tackle.
You know, as well as this Carolina defense is playing, you just wonder how long can they hold up if they keep getting sent out onto the field with these short fields behind them. And this is an understatement to say it, but this is the most explosive offense in football. And you keep sending these guys out there, eventually they're going to break.
Godfrey checks back in for the Panthers in the secondary. Pump fake, 2nd and 8, throws it backside. Grant. And Grant looks to be right at the first down marker. A late hit.
Personal foul, number 76. Defense, roughing the passer. The 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That's on Greg Hardy.
Wow. I don't know what you tell guys. I really don't know what you tell guys. I don't know how you tell a guy to go full speed. You got to beat this guy in front of you. You got to beat this 350-pound man who's trying to keep you away from the quarterback. But in an instant, you got to put the brakes on. And if you touch the quarterback and he goes down, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't think it's good for the game.
Yeah, green 18! Green 18!
Screen Starks. Starks has got room. Starks is hit. But Starks has a first down. And the difference in this game thus far has been all about the turnovers. 4 turnovers for the Green Bay Packers. And 2 of them courtesy of Charles Woodson. There's a pick by Burnett. And an injured Panther on the field there.
Well, turnovers in most NFL games, Ron, are the key. The key to winning and losing is taking care of the football. And we certainly are seeing that here after what was a great start, a very fast start by Carolina. And if you put the ball in Cam Newton's hands too many times at this point in his career, all right, I'm not talking about 3 or 4 years down the road when he's developed and had a chance to mature and see more things. But the more times you put the ball in this guy's hands at this point in career, the more opportunities there are for him to make mistakes, especially when you're going against a defense that is as creative as the Green Bay Packers defense is, as experienced as the Green Bay Packers defense is.
That was Thomas Davis. The linebackers had a great game being helped off the field. He made the initial contact there on Starks. It's good to see he's walking off under his own power, but to follow up on what you're saying about the turnovers, Jim, Carolina 3 possessions this half, 3 turnovers.
You don't win many games when you do that. And Dom Capers right there has had a lot of experience playing rookie quarterbacks. This is the 11th time in his career that he's played against a rookie quarterback as a defensive coordinator, and his record's been pretty darn good, 3-7 so far.
Side trip! Green 18! Green 18!
Johnson on Rodgers, and it's a sack. Charles Johnson has been close all day, and he finally gets him down.
I'm excited about this Carolina defense. They're relentless. They keep coming. You watch Johnson off the right side. He just keeps coming. He keeps coming. He keeps coming. And they finally get a sack.
You block a defensive end like that with your tight end.
You're
That's
taking a
probably
chance.
what's going to happen.
More times than not, you're right, Ronnie.
A loss of 13. Second and 23.
Ready, go!
Rogers steps up, complete the first catch of the day for Donald Driver, but a flag is down at the 30-yard line.
Holding number 71. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Josh Sitton.
This is a big play, Ron, because it moves him right onto the edge of field goal territory, puts him in a second in a very, very long situation. If you watch Sitton here, you can't horse collar a guy. You can't grab him around the neck and throw him down.
Ready, go!
Check down to Starks. Starks trying to get some of the yardage back, but Gamble came up hard.
It's really important here on third down that Carolina have some success and hold them to a field goal and keep this game manageable going into the fourth quarter.
And it is manageable, right? I mean, you're talking about a one-score game.
Well, sure, and if they can get back into the rhythm that they had early in the game, and Cam can get comfortable again, and they can have some success running the football, then they've got a chance in the fourth quarter to make this a really exciting game.
Ready, go! Ready, go!
Driver inside, but well short of the first. Godfrey coming back on the field after the injury will make the tackle, and Green Bay will bring on their field goal unit.
That's smart football right there by Aaron Rodgers. He knew he wasn't going to get it all, and he knows that if he can get up by 10, it's a pretty good lead.
And Donald Driver breaking the record for the most career reception yards by a Green Bay Packer. Just past James Lofton. 34 yards out. No flags down, it's clean. So the Packers continuing to pour it on, come down the field, go back with some penalties, but efficient as always, and able to tack on 23-13 now as we close out the third quarter. More action next week for you here on Fox, double header style. It starts with the pregame show, the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. The Giants, Eagles, Lions, Vikings, and then in the game of the week, the Packers and Bears, or you'll see the Falcons taking on the Buccaneers. We're on pitch Jim Moore. We talked about how the game was still within reach for Carolina. That makes it a little bit harder now as Packers able to add on points.
Well, a couple things. The turnovers have been huge. And now that the Panthers have dug themselves a 10-point hole,
yeah,
they're going to have to throw the football. And I've been preaching run, run,
They've
run.
been throwing.
And I don't know if they're going to be able to run it now.
And if they do throw it, I would highly advise Cam Newton to leave number 21 alone.
That's a
He's
good
played
idea.
a couple downs.
Yeah, let's throw it away from 21.
If you're just joining in, the Panthers off to a 13-0 lead. A turnover on a kickoff return. Randall Cobb fumbled the ball. It all led to points for the Panthers. Then in the second half, Aaron Rodgers and the Pack come roaring back. 17 unanswered points to start the half, and they tack on 3 more. Underneath throw, Stewart with a nice move. Trucks a man, still going. That's Nick Collins. You don't see that often. And he gets it just past the 40-yard line.
And I like that play. I like that play, a safe underneath throw to a sure-handed runner who gets yards after the catch. Not trying to force the ball downfield, sees the defense taking things away deep, checks it down to the back, and they get a first down. You know what I think we're going to see out of Cam Newton here, Ronnie? I think we're going to see the winning attitude that he had all through his junior college and college career start to come through. He's going to have a heck of a fourth quarter.
Packers bringing pressure inside. It's picked up. Another crosser. Stewart again. Trips. It'll be about 4 yards, 3 yards shy of the first.
I love the fact that Cam Newton seems to be unaffected by the errors that he's made in this game. This guy isn't going to lose his confidence. He's won too many football games. He's come from behind too many times in his career to let a little adversity here bother him, and that is the sign of a great competitor. Being at your best when your best is required. His best is required right now.
That is the end of the third quarter.
Panthers are going to need his best to try to pull a win out here. They're down 23-13. That's the end of the third quarter. We'll be back after these messages. Cam Newton looking at a 2nd and 3. They put it on the ground to Williams. Williams almost got out of there. DJ Raji there on the tackle.
Good strong running up inside by Williams. I like the call on 2nd and short. Let's move the chains. Get ourselves a new set of downs. Maybe we go back to the run, huh, Ronnie?
The Panthers happy to get their running duo back. Both guys were banged up last year. Williams out for most of the season.
Yeah.
Play action to a quarterback keeper on 1st down. You like the call?
Well, I do and I don't. I like having the ball in his hands. My concern is this when you run a quarterback. And I coach Mike Vick. And we had runs for Mike Vick. But when we ran the ball with Mike Vick, we were always trying to get him outside the numbers so that he controlled his environment, so he could run out of bounds or he could slide. We didn't design a lot of runs for him up inside the tackles where guys can hit him from either side. So, yeah, I like having Cam with the ball in his hands, running between the tackles. He's not a running back. He's not a fullback. Get him wide if he's going to run.
Checked front side, then went backside to Nane, and Nane will be close to a first. Bush on the coverage.
One of the things that you really like about Cam Newton is his ability to throw a deep out cut. He's throwing this ball from the far hash off a back foot, and he throws a laser to the outside. And there's not a lot of guys in the league that can make that throw on a consistent basis, let alone a rookie having the confidence to put his foot in the ground and make that throw.
And that's a first down for the Panthers.
Yeah, 180. What is that?
Pressure inside by the Packers. Going deep, looking for Smith. Smith with a catch. No, he dropped it. And a late flag could be interference. And Steve Smith is hurt. He was working on Charles Woodson.
Just one-on-one, bump and run coverage. Two great competitors going after it here. Be interesting to see how they call this one. This could go either way, you see. And here we go.
There is no foul for pass interference. It will be 2nd down.
You know what? I like that. I like that right there. When you got Steve Smith and you got Charles Woodson, two great players just battling out down the field for the football in the air, man, let them play a little bit. Let's not nitpick. I like that pickup right there, the flag.
So they say no flag, pick it up. And we're going to keep playing football. 2nd and 10.
I also like that Steve Smith's back in the huddle. Or is he?
Yeah, he's back out there.
What a
He'll be in the slot up top. No receptions for the Panther tight ends here in the 2nd half. Not since the 1st quarter, actually. Stewart. Packer defense all over it. Matthews starts it up. Walden cleans it up.
You know, I keep talking about running the football up inside, but there's some heavy men sitting on the inside of that Packers defense with BJ Raji and Pickett.
A lot of weight in there.
A lot of beef.
And that's the part of the 3-4 look, especially your nose guard, your nose tackle. He's got to be able to hold that point. Check down. Stewart. Stewart with a nice move and a first down. Stewart hurdled 2 and somehow found the first down marker. Slow to get up is Nick Collins. He's down at the 30-yard line.
Great job here by Newton. Looking downfield, nothing is there. He's learned to take the check down, and this is a great example of a veteran helping a rookie out. A veteran saying, hey, give me the ball on the flat. I know we got 3rd and 10, but I'm going to go get it myself.
Looks like Collins got it right there on the side of the head. We'll check him in when we come back. Boy, in a sight we hate to see. This is Nick Collins down, and they've brought out the board and the stretcher.
Well, there's always cause for concern when you see the stretcher or the board come out, but one thing that the medical departments in the NFL do is they do not mess around. They take care of their players, and if there's any question at all whether or not a guy has a neck or a head injury, then they're going to take every precaution to get him off the field safely. And you see here Collins' head just hits the lower butt of Stewart in an awkward way and kind of tweaks it there. But we'll keep our fingers crossed here.
Boy, and what has Nick Collins meant to this franchise? 3-time Pro Bowler, over 400 interception yards, and the interception that pops into my head right away, of course, is in the Super Bowl, the one he took back for 6, which, as far as I'm concerned, set the tempo and the tone for the rest of the day in the Green Bay Packers. Play has been stopped here in Carolina. Nick Collins, the Pro Bowler, went down, took a hit to the head. And of course, tense moments around the league whenever you see a player that can't get up to his feet. They've got him on the stretcher now. Boy, we hope he's okay.
As hard as these guys compete and get after each other from snap to snap, when a colleague goes down like this, everybody's concerned.
And the league has done so much to try to prevent the head injuries. And once they've happened, to take the precautionary measures to make sure a guy isn't rushed back. And at least he's able to wave to the crowd there. That's always encouraging. Right now, a quick game break. Let's go out to Los Angeles and Kurt Menefee.
Well, the Buccaneers were down 17-0 at halftime in Minnesota, but Josh Freeman, and it really has been, hook up for a 25-yard score to pull them to within 3 late in the 4th quarter, 20-17. Ron and Jim, back to you.
Back to action here now. 1st and 10, a key drive for the Panthers. Charlie Peppra will sub in for Collins.
180. What is that?
Newton with the completion, and there's a first look at a tight end from the Panthers since the 1st quarter. Shockey started off with 2 big catches, and he comes back with one here at the 11-minute mark in the 4th quarter.
You know, you get a safety like Nick Collins, and he leaves the game, and immediately you go to your tight end. Tight end typically matched up on a linebacker or safety, and they find Shockey over the middle there. Really good poised throw by Cam Newton. Important thing here, Ron, is they get points out of this drive, whether it's a 3 or a 7. They've got to get points, so they've got to be secure with the football here inside the 10.
They went right after Pepper, who just came in. Newton on his own gets it down to about the 3.
The old quarterback draw. This guy, he can do it. I'll say it again, you don't want to run him inside the tackles too many times, but down in the red zone, the quarterback draw historically has been a good play.
Raji and Pepper on the tackle.
He's got these 3 interceptions, and he's got to avoid that now down here in the red zone with points are of a premium.
That's it. 180. What is that?
Bootleg, wide open, and he missed it. Nane couldn't have been more open.
Great play action. Gets him outside of Clay Matthews on the edge, but this is a tough throw. You see the little bump by Shockey. You get Newton outside the pocket, but that's a hard throw, Ron, because you've got a receiver running away from you, and you're running on the move, and you've got to make a touch pass, but you've got to put it on a line as well. That's a really difficult throw to complete.
But when they draft you #1 overall,
you
they expect you to make that play.
Good point, good point.
He beat Sam Shields. Same type of play without the rollout to the same man and the same result. Looked like somebody got a hand on it. Jared Bush was in the area on coverage.
Obviously, Carolina would have liked to have 7 here, but they'll take the 3 because the 3 puts them within 1 score. The important thing there is that they're going to get points if we make this kick here. They didn't turn the ball over. They got it going a little bit, and they need to get a little momentum going.
Murray 2 for 2 today. This is 21 yards out. Great attempt there. Almost blocked, but it's through. Pat Lee came flying across, so they don't get the 6, but they close the gap. Well, here in Charlotte, they've got this great big beautiful building called the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And 3-time Cup champion Darrell Waltrip, he's one of our guys, drove the number 11 Mountain Dew car to back-to-back series championships in '81 and '82. DW will be inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame this coming January. Congratulations, D-Dub. I'd like to see him do that dance again. This is Cobb. Cobb out to the 25-yard line. Panthers in the 23 unanswered points, but here comes Aaron Rodgers. And a huge series now defensively for Carolina, 23-16. This is about the time of the game that Aaron Rodgers likes to go on those long drives, those long clock-eating drives. Safety blitz. Godfrey, he went right into it and missed the tackle. Starks is rounded up about 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, but it could be coming back. We got a marker.
Holding number 75. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat set, first down.
That's Balaga, the tackle.
He's looking up at the screen. He wants to see what he did.
That's his second penalty of the day.
That's a good start for the Panthers defense because, like you said, Ronnie, this is a very critical drive here with 9:53 left in the 4th quarter. If they can get them off the field and create a little bit of field position for their offense, you know, the way Cam Newton came back and they ran the ball well, that's that last series, they might be able to get something going here.
Randall Cobb checks in at the slot position. Play action, the Starks, drops it down, hits Cobb on the crosser. Godfrey on the tackle. Let's go to Los Angeles for an update. Kurt Menefee.
Speaking of hitting, check out this hit that Arizona quarterback Kevin Cobb takes. But he hangs in there against Washington, finds a wide open Larry Fitzgerald, 73 yards on the score. Arizona up 21-13. And believe it or not, Ron and Jim, they're trying to go to 2-0 for only the 2nd time in 19 seasons.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. 13 yards on the pass play to Cobb. Starks turning the corner. No place to go. A good job by Gamble of holding up the edge, setting the edge, as they say. Norwood able to scrape down and get in on the tackle.
Yeah. Gamble does a nice job, as you said, Ron, setting an edge. And you'll see him here to the right of your screen, coming up and putting an edge up on the defense right here. The problem is our inside-out pursuit isn't fast enough to get there and limit that gain to nothing.
Big 3rd and 1. Starks won't get it. Charles Johnson.
Big stop here. Great job with the inside penetration. Big stop.
A loss of 2. Meste punts it away. Armani Edwards. Not a lot of hang time on that ball, but no place for Edwards to go. Packers swarming all over the ball. Morgan Burnett seems to be all over the field today. A late flag goes down as Newton heads on to the field. No sign yet of who it's on. Waiting on Al Riveron, our referee. Big discussion there in the middle of the field.
There is no foul for a block in the back as a runner was being tackled. First down.
All right, whatever it takes to get it right. So that was a big stop by the Panthers defense. And now a bigger drive here for the offense. A quick look at the game summary. Turnover says it all.
Right there. Turnovers. A little trouble with my teleprompter here, Ronnie.
So, you know, the flip side of that is being able to get the points off the turnover. The turnover's no good if you can't capitalize on it.
Well, and that's where Carolina's defense comes into play. Is they've been able to limit Green Bay to field goals. That's why they're still in this game.
Empty backfield set for Smith. With ball security issues today here. Had a long pass play down the sidelines that he couldn't hold on to. Would have been a circus catch, I'll give him that. That one, I've seen him make that catch 1,000 times.
Right, this isn't typical of Steve Smith. These are balls that he normally catches there. I mean, that's a beautifully thrown ball out in front, away from the defender, right in his hands. He has to reach a little bit, but that's a routine catch for a player the caliber of Steve Smith.
Last week, Smith with 8 catches, 178 yards, and 2 touchdowns, including a 77-yarder. Here comes Raji, and Newton goes down. He saw big B.J. Raji coming in, and everything short-circuited. A loss of 12.
He looks a little shooken up. Got a little ankle issue there, Ron.
Derek Anderson is warming up on the sideline.
Watch the rush by Raj here in the middle. Just a really good hump move. Gets through. Just gets enough. And I'm not sure he even touched him.
Tackled him. I was wondering why he didn't get up and try to. Say he may be hurt. 3rd and long. That ball just thrown up, but somehow caught. What a catch by Brandon LaFell, who's already got a touchdown today.
Green Bay
Sam
defense
Shields on the coverage.
Now watch this, Ronnie. The Carolina Panthers are going to get up on the line of scrimmage and try to run a play before Mike McCarthy can decide whether he wants to challenge it, and they get it off. No, they don't get it off.
Mike McCarthy throws the challenge flag at the last possible nanosecond. Jarrett Bush came over late to help out with Shields. And they're questioning
Green Bay is challenging the ruling on the field of a catch.
That's a good challenge by Mike McCarthy there, because that's a big-time third down play there. Huge chunk of field position. That's a catch.
Boy.
I still think the challenge is fine.
No, I think you have to at this point.
Mike McCarthy right there, he says, you know what? Even if it's close, I'm going to slow the game down. I'm going to allow the officials to take a look at it. I don't want to give these guys big-time momentum. Maybe we're not set up for the next snap.
Boy, it can't be any closer, though, if he is out of bounds. Challenge time. We're back, and here's the decision by Al Riveron.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver possesses the ball, gets 2 feet down, therefore it is a catch. Green Bay will be charged with a timeout. That is their first challenge.
Green Bay loses a timeout. Here's another look at it.
And Newton just throws that up, but LaFell does a great job of getting right foot, left foot down while securing the ball and maintaining control. Big third down conversion there for the Panthers offense. They needed that one because they were backed up and it wasn't looking good.
Every time LaFell catches a ball, it's a challenge situation. He had one on the touchdown earlier in the game. They bring the pressure off the corner. Smith, what a block, and there goes Smith. And Smith is taken out of bounds by Pepper, but he's got a first down. They brought Jarrett Bush on the blitz.
You see pressure off the edge with Bush, and then the block on the out. Oh my goodness, Jordan Gross put a block on Woodson there, and springs Smith. He loves Smith in the open field because he's just a tough, gritty runner.
Ball inside the Packers 30.
Sit. 180. Put it up.
Olsen sets up as a tight end in the backfield. Stewart with room to run. He gets a nice seal. And out of bounds inside the 15 and a first. Let's go out to Los Angeles at a game break in Kurt Menefee.
Minnesota blew a 10-0 halftime lead last week. They blew a 17-0 halftime lead today. 24-3, they were outscored in the second half, and the Buccaneers went on the road 24-20 the final. Ron and Jim.
Oh, big trouble in Minnesota already. 2 games, 2 losses. Stewart has gone over the 100-yard receiving mark.
And to that end, Cam Newton doing an excellent job of utilizing the check down here in the second half.
Fake the draw, fake the quarterback draw. Nobody downfield, and Matthews forces him out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm not sure how well the fake quarterback draw thing works at this level. Guys at this level have seen a lot, and they don't fall for that little, dump the shoulders down low and then stand up and try to throw it. Guys are too smart, they're too wily, they're too veteran, I think, to go for that move too often.
And they count that as a sack for Clay Matthews.
Put it up.
2nd and 10 throw. LaFell, about a yard shy of the first. A pickup of 9, it's going to be a 3rd and 1.
Excuse me, Ronnie. I love LaFell there, catching the ball quickly and then dropping the shoulder and getting up the field now to create a 3rd and 1, what could have been a 3rd and 4 situation. And that was just him being very aware where the defense was and being aggressive in his run style.
180. Put it up.
Bootleg. Burnett is all over it. What a play by Morgan Burnett. We'd like to welcome all of you watching the Tampa Bay, Minnesota game. The Bucks with the win there, 24-20, and we've got a hot one here. Ron Pitts along with Jim Moore. It started out all Carolina. They jumped out to a 13-0 lead, but Green Bay came back. Now the Panthers are trying to get back in.
Well, the Panthers are trying to get back in it, and that is an awful play by Cam Newton there. We could have had a 4th and 1 situation. Now we're looking at a 4th and 4, almost 5. He's got to get rid of that football. Once again, young quarterback who's done some tremendous things today, but right there, not a good decision.
A loss of 3, 4th down. Denied. Matthews. Turnover on downs.
And for me, it all goes back to the 3rd down play. And that's something he'll learn. But Ron, it's 3rd down and 1. Your coach puts you on a run-pass option outside the pocket. You've got to get rid of that football. And watch the coverage on this 4th down. They're playing a zone in there. Guys doing a great job defending their area. Trying to work Olsen on the backside. They've got him doubled, nothing there. Forces Newton to tuck it down and run. But Bell does a good job on Matthews, but Matthews is just relentless in his effort there to get to the quarterback, Newton. But once again, Ronnie, 3rd down and 1. You got to get rid of that football. Something he'll learn, but he needs to learn it fast. At this level, you don't want to put yourself in 4th and 4s.
Packers starting at their 4, and there's a breakdown by Starks. Starks with some much-needed breathing room and a Packer 1st down. Godfrey on the tackle. A look at the summary. Green Bay got down early. The turnovers were the key, though, for Carolina getting down.
Yeah, a lot of pass yards, a lot of total yards, but the thing that stands out there is the 4 turnovers and then not being able to convert there in the red zone once again. Didn't even get a 3 that time.
50! No. Trip! 194! 194! Trip! 194! 158! 150!
Boy, that's gutsy there. Full house, and there goes Jordy Nelson. Nelson will score. No flags are down. Count it. 84 yards. Jordy Nelson with his first catch of the day, and he made it a good one. Captain Munnerlyn is the injured Panther.
Well, he took a shot down the field from Greg Jennings. And I don't like to see a player down, but it does exemplify the great effort that this Green Bay Packers team plays with. Just gets inside of Munnerlyn on a quick slant, skinny post. He's off to the races. Then late here, watch Jennings come into the screen. Boom, right there. Really gets 2 and springs Jordy Nelson all the way into the end zone. You know, here's Jordy Nelson. We haven't heard from him all day. This is a heck of a player, and he said it last week coming out of the game when Jones said, hey, I'd like to be a little bit more involved with this offense. He says, you know, I just happen to be the target against New Orleans. This week, maybe I'm not, and it takes until we've played almost 58 minutes in this game for him to make a catch, and it's a pretty good one, huh, Ron? 84-yard touchdown.
Nelson dropped a couple in the Super Bowl. They kept going to him, and he ended up being one of the Super Bowl heroes. And Aaron Rodgers, how about the confidence and the poise? We talked to him yesterday, and we talked about it at the beginning of the game. From the moment he walks in the meeting room, you feel it. And the rest of this team has played like it. The extra point is good. And the Panthers went from being close to maybe tying it up to getting blown out here in Charlotte. Ron Pitts along with Jim Moore. Key moment there, and you teed it up with Cam Newton. Had a chance to make a play there, but just inexperience.
Well, he's done a lot of really good things today. He's made a lot of good decisions, but he's had turnovers. He's thrown 3 interceptions, and then Steve Smith had the fumble. And then the 3rd and 1 play was a big play. You take a look here at the turnovers, tries to force one in. Charles Woodson makes a play. Woodson undercuts Smith for another play. And Smith drops the ball because he's being careless with it. And then the overthrow to Nane there. And once again, though, all that being said, those 3 interceptions and that 1 fumble, all that being said, if he doesn't take the sack on 3rd down and 1, and he gives them at least a chance on 4th and 1 to convert, then this looks entirely different than it does right now.
And appreciate the gutsiness of the call there by Mike McCarthy. He could have stayed in the full house backfield and just grinded the clock, but he doesn't do it, goes play action, and they hit pay dirt.
When you're the Super Bowl champ, you always go for it, okay? I mean, you go for the friggin' jugular. That's what you do. You go after people. You throw the football. When you've got a guy like Aaron Rodgers and the confidence that he has and the people around him and the people protecting for him, man, you go for it.
He told the guys this week, we got to slow down. You know, last week in Green Bay was probably as close to Super Bowl proportions in the city as you can imagine. Kickoff weekend, you've got concerts, you've got this, you've got that. Every celebrity in the world is on hand, the big game. And then you go play the game, win the game, but he just felt like guys were putting a little bit too much forward. And there's a hit. Woodson on Williams. Williams slow to get up after that. A great game today by Woodson. And that's the 2-minute warning. Nelson. It's not Lambeau, but you can still leap, sort of. So Rodgers most likely will finish up 19 of 30, 308, and 2 touchdowns. You just saw the last one. Newton lets it fly. He's got a man. And they just won't quit. That's Steve Smith. The big one inside the Packers' 20-yard line.
How about that throw? You talk about arm strength. He didn't put his body into that at all. First of all, he has to elude the rush. He's got guys all the way around him. There's Hawk coming up the middle. He steps up and just jumps up and hawks it.
62 yards. That one a little high, but Newton on the day, 26 of 42, and he did it again yardage-wise, 421, coming off of 422 last week.
If this guy, win this guy, not if, because it's not an if, it's a win. When this guy learns how to eliminate the bad plays, when he says, hey, I'm going to give myself a chance by getting out of a bad play, there is no telling how great he can be in this league.
Over 800 yards passing in 2 weeks, but the big key, the loss last week, and he's trying to avoid another one this week. LaFell, Woodson on the coverage. Woodson and Pepper on that last coverage together on the big 62-yarder to Steve Smith, as a timeout is called by Carolina.
Is he chewing gum? Looks like he's chewing gum. I like this guy's composure. You know what? I like the look on his face right there. Now, he's still fighting. He's fighting his butt off to try to get that ball in the end zone, but he's dejected because this guy is a winner. He's used to winning. He doesn't accept anything else but winning. Yeah, he loves the fact that he threw for 400+ yards 2 weeks in a row, but that means nothing to him if he doesn't win the football game. One of the reasons why you say, hey, this guy is going to be great. Another reason why, because there's a lot of reasons why he's going to be great.
Newton has just set a record for the most passing yards in the first 2 games of a career, passing Kurt Warner. 3rd and 5. Check that, first 2 games of a season, I should say. Yeah, no matter what you say and how you slice it up, that's a lot of yards. Holding almost through the interception. That's A.J. Hawk. And this is the area where Carolina, along with the 4 turnovers, Jimmy, have struggled because they've got, this is the 6th trip down 1 touchdown, 3 field goals, and a turnover on down.
Well, first of all, the Green Bay Packers are a very good red zone defense. You know, you look at last Thursday night against New Orleans, had 5 trips in, had 2 field goals and a touchdown. That's a very veteran offense. So you can understand where Cam would struggle a little bit in this area of the field.
Holding it. No place to go. Bishop is right in his face.
You know, when you get into the red zone, the field is so compacted. So you get more bodies and less space. So there's less throwing lanes for him to find openings. And you're just seeing that. He's having to bounce around in the pocket a little bit. The Packers are very disciplined in terms of staying in their coverage lanes.
Second timeout called by Carolina. 432 passing yards. That is a single game record for Carolina franchise history.
I look at this kid there and that shot of him looking up at the scoreboard, and I love the look on his face because to me it shows just sheer determination and disappointment, and I'm sure he's feeling disappointment in the overall performance today, but he's still determined. He's a guy that you get excited about watching. You cheer for a guy like this.
Third and goal, he'll do it on his own, and he'll get in, he'll walk in. Touchdown, Panthers.
And he's not celebrating.
Nope, because it's not over yet.
Not a smile to be found on that face, Ronnie.
That's a serious young man.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Just don't put that towel over your head.
37 seconds left. 1 timeout by Carolina. They'll take the extra point. And now you've got to come with your onside kick.
Yes, you do. What a great competitor Cam Newton is.
I had to laugh the other day in the meeting when he said, I'm just 2 years removed from eating Lucky Charms at Blinn Junior College.
Yeah. You mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. He was really humbled when he left Florida.
Cam Newton's day kind of looked like this. Started off throwing the ball everywhere, especially the tight end. He hit Brandon LaFell here early for the touchdown. Then he started to go at the Hall of Famer, the future Hall of Famer, a little bit too much. Woodson got him twice. Burnett got him once. Just plain misses that one in a big 3rd down. Didn't make the right decision with the ball, but there he does it by himself and puts it in. So here we go with the the onside kick. And it's Driver. Donald Driver got it clean and seals the deal. Driver's got his record day as well. The Packer all-time leading receiver in terms of yardage, along with his other honors.
Let's give some credit to this Carolina defense. Really came out today. You know, when you're talking about 4 turnovers and going on the field in those situations against an explosive offense like Green Bay, I know they gave up 30 points, but I still think they played very, very well. And, you know, this is a team coming off a 2-14 season, but you watch them today, and there's a lot of hope. There's a lot of good things happening here in Carolina, starting with number 1, Cam Newton, and then with the way they play defense, aggressive, flying around, great energy, great effort. They're really buying into Ron Rivera's system.
A big game coming up for the Pack next week. They'll take on the Chicago Bears. That'll be part of our Fox doubleheader. And for the Panthers, they'll see Jacksonville here at home, and then they'll head up to Chicago. And that will be the way it goes into the books. 30-23, the Packers roll into week 3 with a healthy 2-0. Aaron Rodgers called it real confidence now that we've got the ring.
I don't think there's ever a doubt in Green Bay's mind, even after they went down 13-0, they wouldn't come back and make this one close. And in their mind, they said, hey, you know what, we're going to win this game. There was no signs of panic. They didn't get away from their game plan. As a matter of fact, they maybe went a little bit slower and more meticulous in their offense rather than doing all the no-huddle stuff. But you're right, you know, you said it in the open. This is a team that when they walk into the hotel, when they walk into the meeting with us, just calm, confident, very composed, and that goes for the whole organization, not just the coach. You felt it in the PR staff, you felt it in everybody around that organization. We watched them come on the field today. Remember when we watched them come onto the field and you made the comment, you said, that looks like the champ. That looks like the champ walking into the ring. And it did, because it was just kind of slow and steady,
right,
shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, you know, hey, here we come. Here we come. Here comes the champ. The champ is here. The champ is here.
So that's the final here in Carolina. The Pack with another one. It didn't look pretty, but at the end of the day, all that matters is that you have the W.
We ask that as you make your way home, please remember to buckle up and drive safely. Also, if you've been drinking, please do not drive.
I thought it was interesting what Mike McCarthy said about changing the training camp routine. They went to the night routine, practicing heavy meetings in the daytime, one big practice at night. Of course, they had to do that. A lot of that was because of the league changes in the CBA contract and so on and so forth. But he felt the team was better for it. But to a man, they all talked about that tempo needing to increase.
Yeah, they are a tempo offense. They want to get, as Mike said, they want to get attempts at the plate. You know, they want to get times at bat. They want to get the ball into Aaron Rodgers' hands as many times as they possibly can. And that's something they'll continue to work on. They didn't get an offseason to do it. They came out last week, weren't real happy with their tempo. Probably won't be again today, but that's something they can build on.
We'll be back here in Carolina to wrap things up right after this. The final, the Packers 30, the Panthers 23. We'll be back.